Yeah, it's another episode of Flix Flex. I got Dominique Janelle with me. But why would I be recording the recording while we recording? Because I wanted to tell everybody that you can come down to Focus Studios and you can do your podcast. All right. We got a bunch of different sets and all of that type of stuff, right? So just DM me if you're interested. But back to Flix Flex. All right, back to Flix Flex. What's up, Dom?
Hey.
I feel like it's been a long time since we flexed on these flicks.
A little
I
bit.
feel like it's been a long
Because
time.
we've been making flicks.
We've been making movies. That's what
yeah.
we've been doing.
Yeah.
We've been doing what we do.
How many we do?
Man, we on our eighth, 9 if you count the documentary. It's kind of crazy. And we got some stuff cooking. We the pot stirreth right now. You know what I'm talking about? The pot stirreth.
We had it on simmer.
Casting's coming. Y'all better pay attention. The castings is coming.
Ooh.
What we talking about today, though, Dominique? We talking about positions, film positions, the credits, the hierarchy, your producer, your director, departments,
all of that.
executive producers, line producers, crafty.
What all is it and what does it
mean? What do all of these things mean? In film term and filmmaking and also to us, because I think on every set it can kind of blend. So off camera before we started, I had said that the executive producer was number one.
Right.
You don't agree?
No, I do.
Oh, you do?
I know I did.
Okay.
Executive producer, but then below that is producer.
Yes.
Yeah.
I can go with some of that. What's under the producer?
You got your director.
Okay, I would agree.
Mm-hmm.
And then after that, you probably got
You
your.
break out into.
I would say your cinematographer or your DP is
your
after
DP,
that.
Yeah.
Would you go that? And
but then your DP is the head of the department, and then you got your camera people on.
Yes,
underneath
DP
them.
definitely is the head of that department. And then you have your in that department you got your first AC.
Mm-hmm.
Some sets have a DP, which is director of photography, and a cinematographer, right?
Kind of double term it. But cool.
some sets got them both.
Yeah.
And on those sets, typically what'll happen, well, we'll talk about that. We still got terms to talk about. You got your gaffer.
Yeah.
You got your grip in that department.
Best
right?
boy.
Your best boy is under there. Did I say first AC?
Yeah, first AC.
First AC is under there. What else is in that camera depth? We miss anybody? PAs are technically over there. Well,
underneath that department, though.
Yes and no, because PAs
they be everywhere, but you do have PAs underneath.
You got PAs under there.
Like they're listed under that department.
And it also depends on the size of the set because
independent hierarchies are completely different than studio hierarchies.
That's a fact.
Completely different. It's way more people, less people. So you got a lot of people wearing double hats. You're combining titles where they literally have somebody in every one of those
indie
slots.
set, your PA is probably doing everything for everybody.
Right.
PAs, if you're blessed enough to have multiples.
Right.
But I've been on bigger sets where like just the wardrobe department got PAs too.
Oh yeah,
right?
For sure.
So
every department typically has PAs.
Got their own, dedicated PAs.
Yeah.
So that's that. Then you got your ADs, right? So depending on the size of the film, again,
first, second.
Yeah.
Like it depends on how many.
You could have 12th AD on a set.
You can have a bunch of them
if the film is big
even
enough.
Teams. You got A team, B team, or you got team 1, team 2, team 3. Like if you're filming in multiple, like they do that in the big sets when you're filming in multiple, like locations, say cities or countries. You have different teams, and they have all that hierarchy within that one team.
Yep, hierarchy within the hierarchy. And then you got your sound.
You do have
your sound tech. You got your
boom operator, your sound mixer.
Boom operator, sound mixer. There's another term. It's like an AD of sound. It's another term. It'll come to me. You have set supervisors. You have what the heck is the term for the continuity?
A script supervisor.
Keepers. You got script supervisor, but there's also a name for the person that keeps continuity. There's a name for that. It's escaping me as well. But You have a continuity supervisor. That's what we gonna call him right now. Continuity enforcer. No, I was on a set one time, and that was this young lady's job. Period. Point
Yeah.
blank. Continuity. Um, and it's a bunch of others because we will be up here explaining them
Got it.
all for forever.
This
So
is like a filmmaking pop quiz right now.
it's a pop quiz, like and it's so many, and every set don't have everything.
You got art department.
You got art
Underneath
department.
the art department,
You got carpentry
your set
department. You got special
dressing,
effects. You got makeup. You got hair.
visual effects
Visual
department.
effects.
Yeah, hair. Yeah,
It
it's a
depends
lot.
on the project, but it's a lot. So let's, in an overview, give them what each person does. So
Pop quiz.
this
Okay.
is a pop quiz because
You ain't
listen,
go to film school, you gonna learn today.
we're gonna learn today. All of these I still don't understand. I'm going to keep it a beam with you. I don't understand all of them still.
I do.
You do?
Yeah.
You locked in? All right. Well,
Yeah.
that's what we
I
got
do.
Dom for. So I'll start then.
Okay.
And you go. You do a term, I'll do a term. So I'll start.
Okay.
Executive producer. And I'm going to give you my opinion. I'm not going to tell y'all that these are the facts. If Dom want to tell you it's a fact, then it's a fact. In my opinion, the executive producer is the person who puts up the money and or the resources to get the film done. So that can mean they just gave you a check and they walked away. That can also mean they said, well, I'm not giving you no money, but you could use my mansion or you could use my Ferrari or whatever.
Right.
In my opinion, anyone that gives you something, including their time, right? So I'll explain that really quick because we do that at Focus Studios. So anyone who gives you something to get the movie done, in my opinion, is an executive producer. Gives you, not charges you.
Right. Right.
That's a big difference.
Right.
If you charge my ass, I don't care if you charge me $1, you're not an executive producer because you negatively affected my budget.
Right.
And I don't mean that in a bad way, but you're in the minus column. You ain't in the plus. At Focus Studios, we give our actors and our crew the opportunity to donate their time to the film, meaning you either won't get paid or you won't get paid your regular rate, but you will get ownership of the project for donating your time and talent to the project. And then when the project makes money, we all make money like executive producers do, and their names are listed in our credits as executive producers when they do that. So that is executive producer. Did I miss anything, Don?
No, that's executive producer.
Yeah, there you go. You know what I'm saying?
Money bag.
I know my
Typically,
shit
you
a
call
little
him the
bit.
money bag.
I mean, I know my shit a little bit. Yeah.
What about producer?
Go ahead. That's on you.
A
Producer's on you.
producer is someone who does everything necessary to bring the film to life. So everything.
They're the
It's
why
like
it got done.
They're the catch-all. So they'll hire people. They'll hire the director.
They'll fire people too.
They'll hire the crew. They'll manage budgets. They'll cast people. They'll work with casting directors and cast people. They find locations. They find resources.
Yes.
They kind of go over paperwork and permits and stuff. So they're kind of a catch-all.
I always say the producer is why the film got done.
Absolutely.
Right?
Absolutely.
You could say why, when, how, what, or you could check all of those things, but some of those things start to blend into other departments, especially creatively speaking. But for example, if the film calls for a blue giraffe with red dots, a good producer gonna get you exactly that.
Yeah.
A producer, I mean, the term says it all. They produce
Right.
what you need when you need it.
They gonna make sure you have it.
And important one that we both missing, it's also their job to get it done at a low cost.
Oh yeah.
Producer's
You
job
still
is
got to stay
also
within budget.
their job is also keep everything within budget. It's not just spend all the money.
Nah. No.
Because the wrong producer had you broke. They had your set broke. Oh, we need 2 of these. Oh, cool. Just put it on the. Nah.
No.
You supposed to find a way to get that done for free first, Miss Producer. We doing a movie.
But they're also like the connection people. they're your big networking folks.
Yeah.
I always say, like,
Yeah.
they're the people who have the resources, the connections, oh, you need this, let me make a call. Oh,
Yeah.
you need this, let me make another call.
The
Like,
best
they one of
producer's been in the
them.
game for a long
Oh
time.
yeah, they know a lot of people.
They've been
and
in the game.
And a lot of good producers, they're not just film people.
Yeah, for sure.
They're get it done people. They have their hands in all kinds of situations. They're not just I only just do films.
It's a talent. Relationships matter.
Absolutely.
You know, even when I talk to Eb, our producer at Focus Studios, I'm always telling her like, yo, as a producer, even when we not making a film, you got to be building relationships. You got to be putting locations in your back pocket, devices, cars, opportunities, the whole thing. When you're a filmmaker, you're gonna need it one day. So producer, what's under that? What we said that was under that? Director?
I pronounce to you, Mr. and Mrs. Quentin Graham Thomas.
They say second wife sex hit a little different.
No, Quentin, let's leave our past relationships in the past. So that's one thing I'm gonna do. I'm gonna please my man.
Talk your shit.
I ain't gonna be like a mirror.
Hey.
Damn it, hey, you good?
I'm fine.
Yeah, she good. I'm her ex-husband.
Come on.
Yeah, I know who you is.
Yo,
I'm waiting to see you.
yo,
Nothing.
Good seeing you.
It was nice meeting you.
Why are you requesting a change to the custody agreement?
Oh, we're not requesting. The motion has already been granted due to Mr. Thomas's absence on the days he agreed to be present.
Because I was hoping that we would have other dealings that we could pursue together.
Well, what specific dealings do you have in mind?
Fly to Dubai with me, baby. Tell your husband it's a business trip.
Look at you knowing a thing or two about reboots. I see I told you a lot.
Yes. Well, you tell me more than you know.
I just found out my sister and your wife share a best friend.
You know I love your chicken nugget head ass. Just friends.
Oh, just friends.
Ooh.
That's my whole thing. Why do they all lie?
I mean, they only tell the truth right after they bust in.
Do that thing that you did for me, how you got the job.
No, don't do the thing. Don't do the thing.
He's still on his honeymoon phase. He ain't ready to cheat yet, but he'll be back.
I guess you can call me Kayla's new work buddy.
What?
I'm not the fun boss?
Zori. Curtis, what are you doing?
No, Bobby, no. I was trying to. I was trying.
You're real cute, you know that?
Ain't nothing but that suit and that wedding ring. Damn, that's why this nigga be getting all the play.
Come here, let me show you.
Did he just say Brianna's trying to f*** him? Above my pay grade. Above all our pay grades.
Girl, what was the craziest place y'all had sex? Backing that ass. I'm talking like backing that ass up. Backing that ass up. Like juvenile, baby. Not the hootie hoo. Hell no.
Yeah, that's right. Call for your mommy, little cheat.
You're more unqualified than a 500 credit score trying to get a loan.
Oh, yeah. That's what we doing?
That's what we're doing.
That's the game you want to play?
Exactly.
Oh, well, first of all, what the f*** are those on your feet?
I told you them jokes look crazy.
You walk around here like you a Navy SEAL in the monogamy army.
Maybe he just respects women, Nasir. You ever think about that?
No. Oh,
We'd like to make you a trial GM while Brianna and I go to LA.
My day was amazing until I found out Brianna never went to LA.
Surprise.
Who told you that?
y'all going on a whole lunch day.
Yeah.
What? No.
No.
Hey, don't do me like this.
Do you like this? I'm doing something to you?
I got a train on my pants.
You got a train on your pants?
Look how long it is in the back. Oh, shit.
All right, so this is good. That's on me because I be directing this stuff. See, that's a good how that worked out. Boop, boop, beep, beep, bop, boop, boop, beep. So the director brings to life the story. The director is in charge of, and again,
Creative vision.
the creative vision and how the story should be told. Also, who the story should be told by, meaning picking the actors.
Yeah.
On some sets, that's like producer, director responsibility. I've also been around sets. That's not a bless you, excuse you. You need some water break. I've been on sets though where the producers selected the talent, and then the director just worked with the talent that was selected. I've also been on sets where it was a collaborative effort. We typically collaborate at Focus Studios on that process. But I've also heard about and been around some directors who like to handpick all of their talent.
Yeah.
Like if you're going to be in that director's film, we forgot about writer too. We ain't even put writer in the joint. They go somewhere.
They in development stage. We talking production stage.
All right, I guess.
Or pre-production.
But anyway,
they're part of the development stage.
All right, back to directors.
There's 5 stages of filmmaking if you didn't know.
Okay, that's a whole nother episode, Dominique. You messed me up about directors. Oh yes, so selecting their talent and bringing the film to life. So I think a good director has 3 qualities. Okay. Right, and this is based upon me doing the job and me studying the job. The first job, the most important job of a director is to be a great steward of the set. The set is going to have fire after fire. It's the director's job to never sweat. It's the director's job to understand each individual personality and how those personalities are working or not working together. And to get ahead of the train derailing before it happens is a director's job. So a director has to be a really good coach, a really good understander of people. Emotional intelligence is very valuable when you're a director.
And there's different types of directors.
Yes, there are. But that's number one. That's the first job, I think, is really understanding how to communicate with people well for the purpose of getting this train, this film that you started from the train station to its destination, the best, fastest, cheapest, and most efficient way. So that's number one, great steward of people. Number 2, you have to really understand the art of filmmaking if you're going to be a good director.
Storytelling.
Yes, you can't just, all right, put the camera there and then do this. Every movement, every camera setting, every angle you choose, different lenses you choose, camera speeds, all of these types of things, you really have to understand if you're going to tell the proper story, right? So I think a director not only has to put the people in the right spaces, but then they have to understand how to light for the mood, how to pace the actors correctly, where to put the camera, why to put it there, right? Because that's a thing where a lot of people just grab a camera, they think they're a director. Oh, we just gonna do this. Like people don't realize simple stuff like if I'm showing somebody walking and they're supposed to be going to a certain destination, I'm only supposed to show them walk across the screen in one direction, right? If I want to show confusion and I want to show they're misguided and don't know where they're supposed to be, then I show them crossing and going back in different directions. It's small stuff like that, right? Shooting up to show dominance, shooting down to show timidness, right? Or you're losing the argument, you're winning the argument.
But I would say that leads more to a director of photography's job, not director's job.
I don't think
But then
so.
that's also why I feel like there's more than one type of director. Because
I knew where you was going when you were saying that. You do have directors that don't know diddly squat about a camera.
You have technical directors, and then you just have just the creative directors.
Right.
Where they just like, I know how to pull the best performance out of the actor. I know how to do all this stuff. I don't know nothing about no lenses, no cameras, and none of that stuff.
And that, because you said it, that's my third one. Getting the best performance out of your actors. You have to be able to communicate what a scene is conveying with an actor properly to get them to deliver what they're supposed to be doing.
And that job is made 10 times easier when you hire the right cast.
Talk about it. Talk about it.
When you hire the right cast,
that Christmas Bay cast, that Christmas Bay was easy.
Yeah, but that's when you do you cast correctly, that part of the job.
Yes, it makes it a lot easier. And when you cast right and you cast professionals, they actually read the script and they understand. And if they don't understand, they ask questions.
They understand tone,
right?
Mood.
They just understand and then they deliver it right the right way. And you don't have to do much. Say it this way, say it that way,
or
do
just
this,
start
do that.
One.
Right.
And kind of go through it.
It makes the job easy. But since you split the directors up, right? You talked about technical director, you talked about the director who knows camera, doesn't know camera. So talk about that, and then I'll take DP.
Oh, okay. Well, yeah, you have some directors, like you were saying, that can, like, when they are on a set and they're directing, they are understanding of, I need the camera to be this, I need the lights to be like this, I need, and to create that whole moment in storytelling. And then you have those that are just, my DP, you do all this. I'll tell you what I want, and you figure out how to do it all. And then I'ma just focus on just creating that creative space with, okay, I just need it to be sad.
Right.
Make it sad for me. Make it look sad for me. And then I need my actor to be sad. And that's all they want to do. How do you make it sad? I don't know. That's your job.
Nah,
you the DP.
that's a fact.
I just need it sad in here. Make it sad.
Because it's some directors don't leave Video Village. So
right. They don't.
If you're watching and you're not familiar with what Video Village is on a film set,
They
there's
sitting in this chair.
it's typically chairs like this, monitors like this in front of us, and they might have a walkie, they might have a bullhorn, whatever, depending on the setting, and they just barking out orders.
Yeah.
They typically in their AD ear, and they like, hey, when he does that, can he keep his hands away from his ears? It's really distracting. Let's go for it too, and then they'll chill. And then the AD will be like, back to one, we're going to run it again. Da, da, da. Right. They'll step to the talent and they'll be like, hey, Kyrie says when you put your finger on your, let me get to next to the mic because y'all probably can't hear me. Kyrie says when you put your finger on your ears, it's really distracting. Can we go for another take and just, do the same thing, but don't touch your ears. All right, here we go. And that's basically, and then you got some directors that they in the shit.
Yeah.
They right in the trenches. They right there. They face to face. Cut. Hey, come here. Let me talk to you. Let's do this. Camera guy. You know what? Is that my coffee? Yeah, give me that. This is what we're gonna do. Like you got some directors they in the shit. I'm in the shit.
They be saying it. No. Give me the camera. Right. You got directors. You have directors. There are directors out here. They pick up the cameras.
Yeah, for sure.
Now I don't know what the unions and what they can and cannot do, but you got. I need to get the shot.
Mm-hmm. Let me show you what I'm talking about. I'm that director. I'll pick up the camera on your ass in a heartbeat.
I also think that the type of director you are depends on your background and where you came from.
Yeah, for sure.
Because I know a lot of directors like that, like who would be with all this stuff. They normally come from the technical side. They come from just working on camera, or they come from being gaffers or stuff like that, and they're super technical when they're directing. And then you have other ones that are just like, they don't come from any of that stuff, but they know what a good story looks like.
Yes.
And they know how to tell it in a creative way, and they know how to evoke emotion. They know how to get the actors where they're supposed to be, like,
And that leads us to DPing.
DP.
Director of photography, cinematographer, they're kind of the same, but not. And that's why some sets will have both. A DP, though, is typically the person behind the camera. They're the person that knows their shit when it comes to rigging up a camera, switching and swapping lenses and filters and any type of modifiers for the camera. They're going to be the person that chooses the everything that has to do with the camera. They're the ergonomics of the camera, how it handles, what thing is where, monitor here, arm there, this, that. That's all based on who's DPing your film. Probably no two DPs would ever build a camera rig the exact same way. But that's basically the DP. They're responsible for knowing everything about this camera and how it works, and any piece of apparatus you could put it on. A jib, a gimbal, a car mount, a dolly, a track, whatever it might be.
Yeah.
That's what your DP is generally doing. Where that blends into cinematography is the mix of the camera with the lighting and the mood of the scene. So I know I'm kind of stealing two, but
I mean, they're
kind of the same thing.
Because sometimes that's just a matter of what they decided to put your credit in as, whether you're a DP or cinematographer. Like it's
or what that person prefers.
Right.
Some people might prefer, being a cinematographer in the credits versus a director of photography in the credits. But yeah, cinematography is more closely, in my opinion, again, related to being able to adapt a scene to a director's certain vision and mood through the camera. So the cinematographer more has a hold on how the scene is going to look in camera, versus the DP is more about how we're going to set the camera up and what type of shot we're going to get based on whatever I put on the camera, the lens, the monitor, whatever it might be. But your cinematographer is getting busy with, the grips and the gaffers and put this light here and let's spray some more haze over here and let's, instead of that modifier, let's use this one. That's kind of what I think about when I think cinematographer.
Yeah, and they build the shots with the director.
Yes.
So the director has the creative vision to capture the scene a certain way. They communicate that with the DP or cinematographer, and then they'll say with their technical side of things, I feel like if we use this lens and put it right here and get like this, that'll give you what you're looking for, right?
Yep.
Yeah, that gives me what I'm looking for. That
Yep.
creates the mood that I want to create. Cool. Like, yeah.
Yep. What's next? DP, cinematographer, then what? Where you going?
AD.
Let's go. AD then. AD. Don be ADing and stuff. So talk about what an AD do.
So an AD just runs your set. AD is like, in layman's terms, it's just like your manager, like your set manager. We run all departments. We schedule. We manage everything. We do safety. We work out the logistics of how, what, when, where we moving, how we moving, and stuff like that.
Manage the rest of the ADs.
Manage the rest of the ADs, because you got the first AD, you got the second AD, which normally will take care of talent. Then you got your second, they manage background. So yeah.
You also did you talk about breaking down scripts?
Yeah, we break the script down. In the pre-production phase, we break the script down. We get the breakdowns to each department so they know what they need. We gotta communicate with the director and the DP and all the other heads to develop the shooting schedule. We make the call sheets. We get those out to everybody.
And while we're there, another one we didn't mention was production manager. Because
yeah.
some sets,
the AD and production manager go hand in hand.
They right there.
Typically, they're two different positions.
They're two different positions, but
very similar.
Some sets, the production manager takes over some of that responsibility, like script breakdown, call sheets, contacting talent, all of those types of things.
But your production manager typically is the person who's responsible for permits and all the paperwork, right? Licensing, insurance, also help with the budget of some things, hires crew members, kind of goes over the back of the office type stuff.
All of the and then there's another one that blends where you got your line producer.
Yeah, you have your line producer.
So you kind of got
they're like the accountant that manages the money and where it goes. They'll say, okay, lights, y'all got $5,000. That's it.
And so I'm trying to help people understand there's a careful marriage between AD, production manager, and line producer. Yeah. If you're blessed to have all three.
It's wonderful.
Because Dom been on projects where she been all three.
All three.
I've been on projects where I've been every damn thing we talk about. But anyway, there's a blend that I wanted to slow down and kind of make sure people understand, because producers are oftentimes their production manager as well.
Yes. Or line producer as well. But the responsibilities, there's no wrong or right. That's typically something, especially at Focus Studios, we just have a meeting about, and we like, all right, we know, Dom, Eb, Stacy, Joey, Ozzy, we know what they're capable of, what they're qualified to do. But some projects, somebody might want to learn a little something else or be a little more hands-on in another department. But all of those tasks that Dom mentioned could fall under producer, AD, line producer, production manager. It's just about delegation.
Yeah.
You just got to delegate. You got all these tasks that have to be completed. And in pre-production, you just have to delegate, because a lot of positions overlap, but it's all under delegation.
Yeah, for sure.
To keep it organized, because you also can't have too many hands in one thing. That's
everybody
crazy.
And that's important to note too. there are a lot of responsibilities, but you definitely have to meet and discuss who's responsible for what and get that in writing, right? That's super duper important. You can't just expect people to understand what their responsibility or their role is. You really have to get that in writing. Like in our contracts, it kind of breaks down what you'll be expected to do.
Yeah, because you can't have, because then it'll happen. Well, I thought you
Don
had it.
was about to,
I thought you was gonna do.
Didn't
I'm gonna do
Kai-
that. I ain't know. You like, well, who did it? I don't know. I
sure.
thought you did it. Like,
who's on first? Line producer, I'll go over briefly and then you can jump to wherever you want to go next. But line producer in their essence is basically the accountant of your set. They basically are responsible for running back and forth to the producer or executive producer, depending on how your budget is allocated, to figure out how to best allocate funds for each department prior to your film. They'll be responsible for things like petty cash. They'll be responsible for things that just pop up because every set has things that
contingency budget.
we didn't account for this. But they have to figure out how to account for it. And sometimes that may include like, hey, makeup doesn't need 3 stylists. We're going to go with 2 and we're going to save $1,000 a day.
And we can allot that.
We can move
to
that money
locations
over here.
That cost us a little bit more than we expected. Like, yeah.
Yes, indeed. So that again, that's a dance, right? Your producer is supposed to be keeping that low. Your line producer can tell your producer, "Hey, we ain't got it. No,
get it for free. We ain't got it.
Do something else, right?" But your producer can also say to your line producer, "It's nothing I can do. You got to find me some more money."
That's true.
Right? And then it's up to your line producer, like we said, to go milk another department, knock on the executive producer's door.
Like, we need a little bit more cash.
Whatever they're going to do. But that's your line producer's primary roles. What you got under line producer, Don?
Underline producer?
Yeah, what's next?
Well, I was gonna go to another department.
Yeah, you can, because at this point it ain't really. Yeah,
I was gonna go to the arts department, which is crazy because they're so important, but you don't really see them in independent filmmaking. It's very rare that you see an art department section in independent filmmaking, and your art department, like your set dressers, your wardrobe people, your prop masters, all that stuff is, you don't really see them.
Seem to just get done, and you be like, oh,
it normally falls on
this tablecloth.
A producer. A producer would do it.
Right. If you indie, you ain't got no damn set designers. 9 out of 10 times.
Yeah, and it's
like and I don't want to say indie, because indie, there's big budget indie films.
That's true.
But if you're like scrapping, if you try to just get it done, and you got a set producer, you got a set dresser. Wow.
I feel like it's one of those things for me personally. A lot of people just do without. I don't need it. Why would I spend money on that? I got to spend money on this. But it's
somebody that knows what they're doing. It matters.
It's the details. Like when you're doing a film and you want to set that mood and that tone, right? The art department will help you do that with the way that your locations look, your colors, they matching what the actors are wearing versus the background, because colors matter.
Color
so much in film. Like, you can't have an actor that's going through a sad scene and they wearing yellow.
Listen, it's funny.
Why are they wearing yellow?
Shout out my man Terrence Hart, and man, he hit me one time and we was just talking about the like the reason for certain colors in film, right? And I remember saying to him, I said, bro, I cannot wait until I have money to allocate to people making sure this happens.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? Like, you don't, I know, but like, to your point, like, they got a sad scene, they wearing yellow. Like, sometimes with these budgets, we tell our set to arrive, our cast to arrive ready to shoot. Like, they might come with logos or anything. Like, we've had actors where I had to be like, here, man, just wear this.
But how important it is, because like your characters. When your characters are written properly and fleshed out properly, and their backstories and everything, their clothing matters.
It matters.
When they go home, what is in that home that you see matters. It tells you who these people are, what's going on in their lives, without having to verbalize it through dialogue.
You can literally tell a whole scene through what's going on and happening around and what somebody has on without words. You're 100% right.
So that department is super important to the details, but it's you don't see it often when you're dealing with lower funded films.
Right.
But I urge, just like, even if you just have one person that can just wear the hat of the props, the set dressing, and the wardrobe, just kind of, you know what I mean?
I'm gonna fight you on that, right? And the reason why I'm gonna fight you is because
we didn't have it in Christmas Bay, but we did it.
Well, yeah. Well, I mean, Eb kind of assumed that role.
The producer assumed that role, but we knew we were intentional about the set dressing.
Yes,
the
but
wardrobe.
that was easy because it was, and I know, no disrespect to Eb calling it easy, but it was a Christmas film, so your direction was make it Christmas in here versus like, a gritty drama with a certain story behind it, and it's like, you need these elements to fit. You know what I'm saying? Like, I was fortunate enough to go on a set of Servant, M. Night Shyamalan's Servant. A lot of people don't realize he built a city in a warehouse.
This is $20 million. We're the only ones that can pull this shit off.
Shockwaves sent through the crypto communities as new government-sanctioned crackdowns were signed into law today that make it a lot tougher for companies to hide money on apps and digital criminals to steal it.
They're called cloners. Some of them take small money on their own by mimicking blockchains online.
You know, you should invest some of the winning in crypto.
What you say? NFTs, blockchains, crypto.
It's like stealing money.
How many fucking passwords can it be, man?
Whoa, Buck. Crypto Wallet uses every number, letter, and character on the keyboard.
Scammers, any blockchain hackers, any crypto hustlers are gonna be losing their minds and getting sloppy.
Robin, tell me it just froze.
You gotta be fucking kidding me, Ben.
You have one job. Don't lose that fucking phone. I know you ain't thinking about going back to hacking.
Shit, I might.
If somebody traced the transaction history on that fucking phone book,
I know! Transactions. How the fuck we miss these?
All right, this is not a group of stupid criminals. They're smart.
Hey, you got the wrong girl, detective.
Daisy. Yeah. Look at you pulling yourself back together.
Robin made another fucking wallet? Why would she do that?
We let this fucking money quadruple, and then we won't ever have to work or do none of this crazy shit again, I promise.
Goldie's my business partner.
I'm her partner, and we do business together.
You are not coming to this tape tomorrow.
I'll be there tomorrow. And don't say I didn't fucking warn you.
I'm gonna do better, I promise, but so I need you to get me out this joint.
Nah, them motherfuckers are stealing from the clique.
Stealing? No, Buck, I'm fucking stealing.
Bitch, you act like you're not stealing fucking money from me.
Man, I would've let him go too after I questioned him.
See, after you question him, what the fuck was he gonna tell you, cop?
Tell me you're fucking. Be a woman about it.
All right!
You see that hesitation right there? That implies that you know who I'm talking about.
I went on the chain, bought a little piece of it. I went to go cash it out. Shit gone, bro. Look.
And the girl we picked up, she's in on it too.
I need every transaction you do with Peyton on Friday recorded here.
Are you kidding me? Are you fucking kidding me?
Stop.
And if you or your wife fuck me, I'll take this right here and send it straight to the feds. I will take every piece of data we've ever done together, and I will make sure that I link it to you and your bitch-ass husband.
Why are you being so greedy?
Because I love money, G. Don't you?
And like the set design inside this place was intricate. I'm talking about rebuilt 70s kitchens with 70s appliances, with shag carpets, this is inside of a warehouse. And you go into these homes, but they're built for filmmaking. I cannot wait until we have those types of budgets where we can just build our own. This fool had Samson Street built inside of a warehouse. Like, you go in there and it looks like I filmed his party in there and all of that. So the reason I said I'm gonna fight you on even if you have one person is because your set design matters when you can hire someone who understands set design. Right. Like, if you really low budget and you just have a person, you still, as a director or a producer or somebody, gotta know why this chair need to be red and not blue. And if you on a low level and you paying somebody small money to just be your set designer, they not gonna know the intricacies of film communication.
No, but I'm just saying, like, just having, whether it's one person, as far as whether you got somebody that understands the wardrobe to your characters, or somebody that understands, okay, we got this Airbnb we gonna film in, I have the know-with-all how to go in here and decorate this Airbnb to match the characters that are in this film and to help tell their backstory. Like, that's what I'm talking about. Like, you ain't got to build nothing, but you could kind of.
I just think that's a talented person.
Oh yeah,
and I
for
think
sure.
They're gonna
It's a
cost your
it
broke
can't
ass
just
some
be
money.
anybody. It's got to be somebody who understands these things.
Yeah.
But I've been on sets on a lower budget level where they've had that person and they were able to go in, and I walked in. I was an actor on that set. I walked in and they're like, yeah, they said, this is where you can be filming. They're like, don't touch nothing, because the room was a mess, right? And I'm like, what? But the set dresser was in there and was like, all this is purposeful. Because the family at the time in that scene, I wasn't in that particular scene, but the family at that time in that scene, they were disheveled. So they had their house disheveled. And when I watched the movie later on, I was like,
made sense.
Yeah, like,
made
but
sense.
It was just great, even on a lower funded level, to see that they took the time to do that. They took the time to put each actor in a particular wardrobe for a particular scene. But that was between the director and it was this one person. And I'm like, that was phenomenal. And when I watched the movie, it was like, it didn't give that indie look. Because all them details raised it up, and it's just like, wow.
No, I can agree. I just think that person has to really know what they doing. But
for sure.
We spent a year on set design. What the hell is next? We ain't talk about gaffers, grips, and best boys.
Oh, what are they?
Them fools be messing around with the lights and the wires and the electric.
Your gaffer is like your electrical person. They
so
deal
lights.
with the lights, the wires, the cords, the stingers.
Yes. Sets can have generators, big ass huge generators. I had to drive the generator truck on one set, which was literally a big ass pickup truck with a big ass generator.
Grip truck is normally a truck that keeps all that equipment in,
attached to it. I had to drive that mofo. We was bringing our own power wherever we went, because that's how many and how large the lights was. You can't just plug these motherfuckers in. Like, you need a big ass. This generator was about the size of like 4 refrigerators.
Damn.
That's how big it was, and I had to drive it around attached to a pickup truck. So that's what your gaff folks pretty much do. Grip, I'm sorry. I always get grip and gaff like confused, and I know they're very closely related.
Very close.
I always get them.
In independent film, you're allowed to see this be the same person.
Yeah. So yes, it's definitely the same person in independent film. But
same person.
But gaff is more those electrical folks. They are figuring out how we're going to power the things that we need to be powered. Grip is more every damn thing on a film truck. Or
right.
Or if you see a C-stand, there's a grip got it in their hand. Right. All those moving parts is pretty much grip, and not just the film stuff. I mean, grips and PAs, but you know, you might have to build a set. And by build, I don't mean hammer and nails, but I mean like, you know, flats got to be moved and you know, the gaffers got to be helped with wiring said built set, and tables and chairs and everything else got to be brought in. And sometimes what people don't realize behind the scenes on a film is like, sometimes there's film tools holding up, hoisting, whatever, interacting with everyday items, you know. So it's a grip's job
Clamps
to build those types of things, you know. And then Best Boy, you take Best Boy, because Best Boy be getting me. What do Best Boys be doing? I have an idea. What do the Best Boy do, Dom, without looking in your phone?
Them niggas, I
don't know what the Best Boy do. What do the Best Boy do? The Best Boy, I'm gonna take a guess, and then we go look it up, because we ain't needed to hire a Best Boy yet. Here's what I believe. I believe that a Best Boy is responsible for involved tools, like you see like the wheel thing they might use, or they might got like somebody like that got to man the crane or the jib and be like in and around and about those types of things.
Yes.
I believe that's the Best Boy. Now we gonna look it up just to make sure that we ain't tripping. Cause
the boy is good at being best.
He see good. He whoever you see on set that look the best. That's him. All right, let's look it up.
Buy, not the store.
What does a Best Boy do on a film set? Okay. All right. I'm wrong. I'm wrong. Well, I'm kind of right. But I'm kind of wrong. All right, so on a film set, Best Boy acts as the foreman or second in command for either the electrical, Best Boy electrical, or grip, Best Boy grip. So it sounds like.
But you were on like, because I know that they are a part of that department and part of helping moving a lot of the stuff that's with that department. That's what I just knew it was.
So it sounds like it reading down into the breakdown a lot. I'm right and wrong, but it sounds as though the Best Boy is like the AD to the grip and or gaffer. Okay. It's a lot about.
Do you know any Best Boys?
I don't know any Best Boys.
I don't know
any Best Boys.
I don't know nobody but like, yeah, what you do for I'm a Best Boy. I don't.
Studio set.
If you're a Best Boy, reach out. We would love to, connect. We don't know any Best Boys, so that'd be pretty dope.
All right, who's the Best Boy? Mm-hmm. Who's the Best Boy in Philadelphia?
Yes. Give the best Boy in Philadelphia.
There we go.
My
wire just gonna have to be ugly. I've been trying to fix it over here. It's just gonna have to be.
You need a Best Boy.
Let's go. What else we ain't speak on real quick before we end this show about all of these positions?
You said you're at First AC.
First AC is going to be the DP or cinematographer's right hand man or woman, because there's some woman First ACs out here.
Mm-hmm. Oh, there's so many departments. Really you got focus pullers.
I mean, focus puller ain't a department. Man.
Well, I'm just saying, like people that positions.
They all fall under the camera department.
I know, but I'm going. We in that.
What's the person that do the wheelie thing that I thought was the Best Boy?
The wheelie thing.
You never see the wheels with the camera rig? They got the two wheels. You never saw those?
Like the focus wheels?
No, it's like you got camera systems that the whole head and everything moves, but there's these two wheels, right? So one wheel is for panning and the other wheel is for tilting, but they do them like kind of at the same time. It's crazy, and it moves this whole head and jib thing around. You've never seen those?
I've seen it.
I'm gonna put you on.
No, I've seen it. I know what you're talking about. You'll see those in studio settings.
Yeah, they got a name though. They got a name.
I don't know what that name.
Maybe crane operator. They might be doing that. But
is it though?
It's so much stuff. What else? Obviously, makeup and hair is self-explanatory. That's a department in itself. Wardrobe is a department in itself.
The glam team.
The whole glam team keeping people cute. Crafty. A lot of people don't even know about crafty.
Catering
Catering and
food
crafty.
services.
So,
Please.
excuse me. Craft services is the name for it in a
Craft
movie,
services.
and those folks are responsible for feeding everybody. So
Very important department.
yeah, super them, but they up there. They're probably executive producer crafty, because you got to keep people fed and happy. I'm talking about happy.
What is crafty?
Crafty is food. It's the people who. So
there's the difference.
It's a difference.
Okay.
Crafty is there on typically on a movie set that got a little bit of budget. There's food laying around somewhere
Your
all
snacks,
day
your
for you to eat.
waters, your drinks,
Yes.
all your little that table
Coffee,
of grab and goes.
Red Bulls.
Yeah, that's your
what I mean?
crafties.
All of that. If you got a little bit of money,
Mm-hmm.
if you got a little bit of money, you got a crafty room table somewhere.
You
And
better have you. I don't. If you got a little bit of money, that's where the money need to be. If you're gonna put it somewhere,
you
put it feed people.
You got to treat
gotta
people right.
Oh my
That's a Focus Studios #1 priority. We gonna feed you. You gonna make sure your belly gonna be taken care of. You ain't gonna have no food headaches and stuff. But then you also have to feed people a certain number of meals, full meals. If they're on your set a certain amount of time.
The typical rule is typically like every 6 hours they gotta eat.
They gotta eat. People gotta eat.
You can't go past 6 hours without feeding people. You can't.
Yeah. And that's your crafty.
And that ain't just grab some crafty. That's a meal.
Yeah, your crafty don't count.
Yeah, that's a meal.
Got to put something up in their mouth, in their system.
They sit down, they eat. Like it's the thing.
And what we typically do at Focus Studios. Excuse me, I'm Yarnisha right now. You gonna do it too because you know it's contagious. Here it come. Here it come. Don't fight it. Don't get your yawn out. You get it. Get it. What we typically do is we feed folks in the morning. A little breakfast table, some sandwiches, some coffee, some might be some eggs, bacon, whatever you need. Bagels, all of that good stuff in the morning. And then we break for lunch, and we break for lunch in the middle of our day. And then we work you all the way to another 6 hours, and then we send you home. That way, if we send you home right before that 6 hour kick in, we ain't got to feed you again.
Yeah, he be trying it. He be trying it. And they be like, we got a couple more shots. He be
fed
like,
you twice.
He be like,
Damn it.
Fine, just
Go get some crafty.
Go
Damn
order
it.
something because I gotta feed you.
Nah, we've had some of them days where we had to feed mofos 3 times. Dang.
Sheesh. There that long.
Had to feed mofos 3 times. Go 14-hour day. And go get these fools some chicken or something. Crafty, super duper important department. Any honorable mention departments you want to throw in real quick that we ain't even talk about?
There's so many. A lot of sets now, bigger, like the editing and all that stuff like that. A lot of times they be on.
Department.
Yeah, they be on set.
Yeah,
they be on set real time.
You can do that now.
Yeah,
you can do that these days.
They set up. They got a whole desk set up, the laptops, the computers set up. They be on set live. Just
you can get to it.
Love it.
You can get to it quick nowadays.
Love it.
Yeah,
that's another goal.
You talked about writing. You talked about there being 5 stages of filmmaking when I mentioned writing. So let's end this episode of Flix Flex. With you just overarchingly explaining what those are. And y'all got to tune in for another episode where we unpack each one of the 5. What are the 5?
Your first is your development phase.
Develop the film.
Pre-production
what we want to do. What we trying to do.
Pre-production phase.
Pre-pro, we know what we want to do, but how we going to do it?
Production phase.
Production, we done figured out how we going to do it. We doing it.
Post-production phase.
Post-production, see y'all. I ain't going to see y'all in a while because I got to get the film done.
Distribution phase.
Watch my movie, y'all. So we going to go through all of those in detailed fashion and what they have to happen in a future episode. All right.
Yeah.
But I think we broke down a lot of stuff for the folks to understand different departments. I don't think we missed any, did we? I mean, we
We,
touched
we,
on
I mean, there's a lot
carpentry
more.
and all of that. It's so much.
It's a lot
Sound.
more.
We didn't even talk about the sound technician a little bit. Shout out to Malachi. Shout out to Octavia, who's jumped in on sound for us. Shout out to Q, my main Daquan. Shout out to everybody. But yeah, really briefly, I mean, you got your sound mixer, you got your boom operator. Typically on a big set, you'll have at least 2 boom operators,
right?
And a sound technician or 2. And they come with the whole sound cart, the big sound cart with all types of knobs and antennas and every little makeshift thing you could think about to put a lavalier on a talent, or fix a boom in a certain space and all of that type of stuff. And their job is really, really, really important because good sound is essential in a movie. Bad sound will tear you up. And then you got your Foley people too. When you talk about, editors and things like that and people doing stuff on set, you got your Foley. Foley is basically the recreation of sound. That can be verbal audio, or that can be like, I need it to sound like somebody's walking through the snow, or I need a thunderstorm, or, and these are people that work inside of a studio typically, and they're all about figuring out how to recreate noises. You wouldn't even realize, like, a lot of times when you hear, like, I can't think of anything else, but
like outside scenes, right?
Yeah.
You got outside scenes. They give you all that outside sound.
Yeah. Some people never been on a film set, they don't realize it's quiet on set. Yeah. So when you're watching Wolverine fight on a train, he was really in a studio and the director was really barking out orders to the talent while this is going on. And then they get rid of all of that audio, right?
And you hear
all of those. Wolverine will still be looking like he's saying his lines in what they recorded, but really they took what's my man name that played Wolverine? I was slipping my mind right now. But they took Hugh Jackman. They'll take Hugh Jackman to a studio and he'll re-record the
watching
lines.
Himself. He over there like,
Yep. That's what you talking about when you talking about the editor. So they're doing their job, blah, 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 blah. And in order to get that to the studio people so that Hugh can sit in front of a monitor, microphone, and he can recreate all of the sounds that he should have been making in that fight scene, as well as his lines, getting his lines out clearly.
ADR.
Right? And then the sound of the train is re-put back in. The sound of the glass breaking and the train popping off the tracks and
people screaming.
All of that is re-put back into the film, and that process is called Foley. That's important. We was about to skip out on sound. We was about to say bye, y'all. Silent film. Yeah. Anything else we missing that's that deep? Because people going to watch and they gonna be like, they ain't even talk about.
We ain't talking about this. We look.
It's a lot.
We don't got that much time. But
we tried to give y'all the overarching.
Yeah, it's a lot.
Which I think we did.
I think we did pretty good.
Again, remember you can come down to Focus Studios and you can shoot your podcast. All right. We've introduced the $99 podcast. The $99 podcast, right? And
does that come with views?
What you can do, and this is crazy, right? This is crazy. The way me and Dominique film our podcast is the same way you can film yours for $99, right?
That's dope.
So what we do is we have one camera, right? Mm-hmm. I've created a template. The template ain't free. Don't think you're getting a template too. But you could use just this clean white background like we using if you wanted to, right? But I've created a template that I then put me and Dom in with a little bit of editing. But we use one camera, 2 microphones. It's 2 of us talking, doing our thing. This style that you see right now, you could get for just $99, right? And y'all know the slogan. If you ain't got $99, you ain't got nothing to talk about anyway. So
there's that. I likes it.
What you gonna tell the people on the outro? Where can they find you at and all that, Dominique?
Down below, if it's spelled properly.
I got redo your joke.
It'll be Dominique.Janelle. You can
It's
find
spelled
me
properly,
on all
dog.
social media.
So I'm throwing shots. And same. Mine's always been spelled right. Y'all know who it is. It's your best boy, Kyrie Terrell. We out.
Best boy.
Thank y'all for watching. Flex them.